We are live with Dr. Pepper Cherry Crush. It is 3:04 Central Standard Time in the United States, 9:04 BST in the United Kingdom. This is the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe.
Hey.
Coming to you live, mid-dinner, chow, whatever. He's taking mid-drink here on the 28th day of September in 2025. Joe's got the hoodie. Yeah, it's a hoodie.
Yeah.
Not a jumper. Jumper's a sweater, like right with a hoodie is a hoodie. You look like a proper roadman. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so
get me.
Yeah. All right. So we're back. We were off a week. It's been another Sunday. We're an hour late. I was working on. I bought a couple of weeks ago. We bought a caravan. For those in the UK, that's what they call it. In the United States, is the RV or a travel trailer. Although you got to be careful when you say RV because it's not one of those motor home, motor coach, class A, class big ass things like you see on TV. It's a travel trailer, right? It's pulled by a truck. It's 22-foot travel trailer, so it's like a proper caravan. I think it's probably too big, bigger than probably what you can get in the UK because I think they would probably be smaller. Like little pop-ups and, maybe, I don't know what they don't use feet. So it'd be like, 8 meters or something smaller, right? Because there's, how is that is there a lot of, like camping? Like, do people really camp in the UK? Like,
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Campsite. Yeah. I mean, and so is that a big thing? Like in the United States, especially over the last like 10 years, it's mostly for like retirees and the RV life. And there's a whole thing where younger people too are getting in like vans, and they live in RVs and they travel across the country and they're kind of, a lot of the pandemic kind of spurred a lot of that. So a lot of younger people also, because they can't afford to get like proper apartments and stuff. So they're buying these vans and they're converting them into like little travel trailers.
Yeah. A lot of people doing that.
Yeah. RV lifestyle. Is that really big in the UK? Do the people really do the caravanning and RV and camping kind of thing?
Yeah. People do it. Yeah. Definitely. Okay. Yeah. Right. I don't know if it's as big, but yeah, it's still big.
Do you know, have you ever been camping like in a proper tent? Like, United States, they have boys. Yeah, like tent. Yeah, okay. Yeah, when was the last time you went camping, like in a tent with in the stars, and went to like campsite or a national park, or
do they have 5 years? I mean, since we've had Saoirse, I put a stop to that. I couldn't think of anything worse than doing camping with Saoirse. But yeah, before then, probably.
Well, she's a little older now. Have you ever thought about when she got to be like 7 or 8 years old, a little older, kind of doing it, or is she just
not with her autism, man? Anything out of the blue like that would be totally, it will just throw her.
Yeah, it's funny, Michael. See, because Joe made the same comment. He goes, "That doesn't really look like Shane." I said, "Yeah," and the shirt, he has short hair.
Same thing, yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah, look like him. Just like he cut his hair. Or maybe he just went. I don't know. It looks. I think it looks like him
with glasses.
It looks so. He said it, Shane, not me. I didn't say it.
I mean, I love Shane Craig. So like,
happy folds, happy flips, happy. Right? Yeah. So he's painting foldables and flippables, right? No. Anyway, so I decided. Shane Craig. Obviously, we had him on the show a while ago. We'd like to get him back on. I know he's really super busy. One of my favorite creators. He's all about the duo life and the foldable life and flippable life. He's a really nice guy. We had him on the show. That was a show where Joe was at the pub and got all wrecked. It was a great show. So I'm a huge fan. Funny thing, I wore this. The last time I wore this, I actually went out and about. I was at like a Home Depot or a Lowe's or something like that doing stuff. And a guy that was working there came up to me. I guess he was in the yard or, they like had the outdoor stuff, like a mulch and the garden area. He comes up and he goes, "Hey man, I know that guy. Watches so all that guy's good. I like it. I can't believe so actually somebody recognized Shane Craig in public. He said he watched his videos. So that was kind of cool. It's the first time I wore a shirt like that somebody actually said, "Hey, because I've had the TK shirt and I've got the ones, the headphone jack shirt. Nobody's ever mentioned it. That was the first time I had worn a merch shirt for one of my favorite creators, and actually somebody recognized it in public. It was kind of cool. So that was
neat. Talk to the growth that he's had. Like he has had a lot of growth, hasn't he, over the last?
Oh yeah, so. I mean when we had him on the show, I think it was. What was it, like a year ago? It might have been 18 months ago. And I think at that time he was only at maybe like 25 or 30K, kind of in that neighborhood. I haven't checked recently. I can tell you exactly. I'm on his channel now.
Okay. Cool,
He has almost just short of 70. He's at 69.7.
Growth,
Yeah, it's great, girl. And well, he's good. I mean, I think, and it's funny is, and look at this. So I'm going to share the screen because this is kind of funny. So this is going to the shirt, right? Check this. Check this out. So this is on his YouTube channel. So if there's anybody watching who literally is not following Shane, even if you're not into foldables or flippables or any of that stuff, please go ahead and give him a sub. You will be very happy. But look at the picture. It's not the same as this. It's a little different.
It's got the right hair there.
Right. Well, the funny thing is, it almost looks like the shirt. He's doing the same kind of thing. It's literally a long-haired version of the shirt that I'm wearing. So I don't know. And I bought this like 6 months ago. So I don't know. I just thought it was kind of funny. Anyway, so
that's the summer version.
Yeah. So check him out. He does the reviews. He's always talking. I think he bought the Toast. Remember the Toast cases? Remember in the back in the day, those real wood, like in Scream skins, right? But they're actual wood skins. They're Toast made. I actually had one.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
I bought it for a phone I had. Right. So, so like instead of Extreme skins, it's vinyl. They have ones that are made by this company called Toast Made, and they're actually pieces of wood. They're actually like skins that are wood, and they're really, really cool because when you touch them, obviously it isn't like, it doesn't have like a feeling of wood. It actually is wood, and I think they're called Toast Made. Toast. And he did a review because he bought some.
I think Michael's onto something here.
Toast Made. Yeah, here it is right here. Yeah, check this out. This is pretty cool. I keep getting these buttons suck, by the way. Check this out. So this is check that out.
Sam, you've got 1 of 100 you have with that t-shirt. There's only a few of them.
Right. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know there were. I didn't know it was like a specific. All right, I didn't know there was a. I should have made a. Oh. I should have made. I'm going to say if he has a long-haired one, if he's made another run with the long hair, I think I should get another one. Now, I'll pay him for it. I mean, I get nothing's free.
He's creating artificial scarcity for the short-haired shirts to drive up the price.
Right, exactly. He's basically so. Check this is the website it's called Toast, right? And they have their wood. It's wood. I had one of these, and I thought I would have. Yeah. Dude, they're really cool. And so he did it for the Fold 7, although he was complaining about, he liked it, but he said on the side rails, the buttons, he said he was having an issue with the buttons. But yeah, they do Mac Mini. Look at that. Dude, on a Mac Mini, check that out. That's cool. Yeah, there's your 9. If you're about the Pixel life, which Joe's not because he's abandoned Pixel altogether.
For now.
Also, you put it, if you have a Mercedes, I guess this is a truck or something, a Sprinter van. If you have a Sprinter van, you have a Mercedes Sprinter van, speaking of RVs, you can toast the shit out of your Sprinter van. I think that's a little cray-cray, but they have automotive. Oh, they have it for Tesla. Of course they would, because, this will make all those Tesla owners like, Jason. I love Jason. I do not like the way these. Now, this car, I guess it's the Model 3 or the. You know what I mean? It looks okay. Oh, that's actually nice little inlays. Okay, that's kind of cool. I don't know if it. See, the problem is it doesn't really go with. It doesn't really go with the way these Tesla's interiors look. They're just kind of black and plastic and rubber and shit. Like no, let's look at this. Let's pause this. Well, go back. Oh shit! How do I go back to this?
Like some kind of ashwood, like a. Black
ashwood. Well, I don't think. Did you see where those seats were white and the dash is black and the seat and all this shit? It just doesn't look right. Oh, you get sill plates. Okay,
it's good quality though. As you can
see, it's cool. They got stuff for like your iPads, dude. This is fucking baller. I almost got one of these. This is so cool. But I mean, yeah, Toast brand. If you have a Surface Pro, whatever, you're good. So you get laptop covers, but they do all sorts of stuff.
Why toast though? It's like toast for me is bread that's been in a toaster.
Oh, they don't call it some weird ass shit in the UK like bread, toasted bread or toasty bread or something. Anyway, but yeah. So they've been around for a while. I've had it before, but I can't remember. I just can't remember what device I had it for. But these are pretty cool. And he did a review on he got the one for the Note 7. I think though he got, because if you notice in some of these, they have like the side rails with the buttons. He did that. And I don't think he liked the way either they functioned or But if you just get the back plate, this is a pretty good look. Although they do a different, it's how like the housing is a little like darker wood, and then this. But these are cool. I've had these before, so I was aware of them. But yeah, you can do all sorts of stuff. You got they got PlayStation Steam decks. If you Xbox,
a little bit like like there's a comedian that says the UK's messed up and says like you went into Boots, you can't buy boots. It's a It's a pharmacy, right? So this feels a bit like that. It's toast.
Yeah, toast. So, anyways, I don't know why it's called toast. It just is. But I've had their stuff before, and I thought it was pretty good. Now, I don't think it's on his website. I think he did like an article about it. Said it was pretty good, but he definitely had problems with the side, with the buttons and the way it was laid out. But you don't have to get, just like anything else, like Extreme Skins, right? You can just get the back. He's even
got a little toaster as his logo. Look.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. So, I mean, we're obviously not sponsored by Toast. I just thought
I need to talk to this guy.
The Toast guy? Yeah, we need to talk to the
Toast guy. Yeah, we need to get him on.
Yeah, we need to get him on. But anyways, I've had it before, and then remember when I had my my Lumias, right? My 950 and my 950 XL, they had what was the name of them? They were like cases, but they were wood. Damn. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. It escapes me. Anyway, so circling back to all this, right? So make sure you check out Shane, sub to his channel. He does all sorts of good stuff, but also too, he's just a good guy. So anyway, yeah, I think the one Tesla I don't like is the one it's like 4-door. It's kind of bubbly. I think it's the S Model S. It's just ugly. I just don't like the look of it. But anyway, it's whatever. So yeah, trying to add a little class to something that doesn't have class. Right, on the Tesla. I mean, here's the thing. Sure, it's if you're a tech person, the Tesla's amazing.
I think Jermaine's trying to say polishing a turd.
Right, I think so. I don't. Do they even have Teslas in the Netherlands? I don't think so.
Yeah, of course they do. Surely.
Well, I'm sure they would, but I mean, I would think if anything, like in the Netherlands, I would think that they would really embrace the whole electric vehicle because I know they bike and they're really big about the environment and they're really kind of big about nature and all that kind of stuff. I would think a Tesla would probably fit. Now, some of the bigger ones clearly are a problem, but anyway. So, Thinborn. I got to talk about
this. What's the update actually? Yeah.
So apparently, first of all, let's just keep it a buck. Their customer service and customer response and support sucks. They do not respond to emails for like weeks or days. And so I'm not going to show you the thread. So I went back and forth. So basically what happened was I had placed an order based on the tech disruptors. And by the way, this commentary has absolutely nothing to do with their sponsorship or anything. I mean, I went online. I got the case. It was like $45. Everything went perfect. Their code worked, although it was misspelled. I think they had text disruptors. They misspelled it, whatever. I got that to work, and it was and then the order was fulfilled, and they put it to the post office on September 4th. However, when I kept checking the tracking, U.S. Postal Service said they had not received the item so that we can create a label so that way they can ship it. And that was like, okay, I gave it a couple of days. And then like a week went by and I noticed it still said, hey, we're still waiting to create a shipping label. And then I emailed them and said, hey, I don't see a tracking number. Was this order fulfilled? Like, did you actually fulfill the order and get it to the shipper? So I was trying to figure out where this thing was. Was it lost or was it delayed or was it back ordered? I didn't know. I didn't hear anything. And then the guy who responded, I'm not going to give his name. There was a phone number. So I tried to call it and then I texted it. And this guy texted me this weird, like, who's this? Just text me. I said, I did. And then he didn't respond for like a day. And he goes, hi, this is the customer service guy. I'm like, okay. I sent a pretty shitty email. And I'm just going to read it. I'm not going to show it on camera. I will read it though. Because I was just like, dude, what in the, so far I'm like, they did not answer. And I said, well, here's the thing. If it does, I don't see a tracking.
So you was given a number to call, and then when you called it,
no, I wasn't given a number. There was a number on the email signature of the responding person from Thinborn, which took 4 days, by the way, to have them respond.
So when you called said number, though, their response was, "Who's this?" Just
right. So he just texted me. He goes, "Who's?" So I sent them an email. So eventually they said the shipment's on the way, and I checked the tracking number, and then I didn't get it, and I sent an email, and I'm just like, "Hey, man, like what's the scoop?" And they said, "Oh, hey, what? Well, we don't know." And I said, "Well, if doesn't ship by like the 20th, I'll just cancel the order." And the guy goes, "Well, the problem is we can't cancel it." So that tells me that the order was fulfilled. Okay, so here's how it goes. If the order is not fulfilled, it's on back order or whatever, then I can cancel it. However, if the order is fulfilled and they actually took it to the post office and they're supposed to ship it, long story short, apparently they lost it. And finally, I got a different human being from the company who basically reached out to me and said, "Hey, essentially we don't know." So it came down to, I said, "Hey, I sent an email on the September 15th, which is 11 days after the order was supposed to be fulfilled."
Yeah.
And they didn't respond until, he said, "Oh, thanks for reaching out." So they responded the same day. "Thanks for reaching out. We'll look into it." That was September 15th. Next email, no email. Finally, I sent an email on the 23rd. "Hey, this item hasn't shipped and it's been 18 days. If you cannot ship this within 24 hours, I want to cancel the order." And nobody from the company ever looked in the tracking number to find out what was going on. And then the next response is Monday, September 22nd, right? So they said, "Hey, we want to make it right. We can no longer cancel the order. That said, we want to make it right. Once the package arrives, so once I get the package, you can send it back for refund." I said, "I don't want a fucking refund. I just want the goddamn case." Like, I don't think that's the response. It just sucks. And then I sent back an email that said, "Hey, you guys told me," I said, "understandable on the return status. That brings me back to the original inquiry." I said, "Where is this where is this case at?" And then that was on September 22nd. No response until another person, not the guy I was talking to originally, another guy said, "Hey, I'm very sorry for the lack of communication," because I sent an email. It was pretty shitty.
Yeah.
And I just said, "Hey, is this case back ordered? Is it lost? I have yet to receive any information on a reply or that it's even canceled. I assume it takes over a week to send a second email for a customer, and then I have to inquiry a second time. Let's keep it 100% real. I'd love to receive the case that I paid for and keep it. Please acknowledge you got this receipt." So this guy comes back, and this was 4 days later, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry for the lack of communication. This is this guy, and I'm here to help get this resolved. We shipped this on September 4th, and it may have been lost. We see the shipping label has not been scanned by USPS. I know I said that on the September 15th email, but be that as it may. They said, "We typically process replacements as soon as possible in these cases and personally drop it off at the local post office." So they walk it to a post office.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it sounds like U.S. Postal Service, which, don't get me started, they suck too. They lost the device. Fine. Or lost the case. Fine. I said, "But we're on serious back order. We can get the new cases." Basically, he offered me a $10 credit, and they can't get the case until this week. Let's just put it this way. This case better be awesome, because the customer service experience from Thinborn fucking sucks. Sucks.
At least this last guy's been a bit better. He's actually gave you some credit, gave you a time scale. Like, that's what you expected ages ago, though.
Right. Well, I mean, the problem is the guy said on the original email, said, "Hey, I saw that the tracking number hasn't been updated. Let me look into it." He never texted me. He never emailed me back. I waited a week. And then I emailed him back and said, "Okay, so it's my job to follow up on the fact that you said you're going to let me know what the fuck was going on." Anyway, so far, I mean, I hope the case is, now, to be fair, I got a discount because they got the 50% off. So I only paid like $40 for it. And again, they're going to give me $10 credit. I'm just saying, I placed this order on September 3rd. It's now the 28th, and now they still haven't shipped it because they're back ordered. Here's the thing, man. If the post office lost it, I'm totally okay with that. But there was no communication from Thinborn. And then I texted the guy. Well, I called the number that was on the email signature, and it was a number.
So in the UK, right? That's the sender's problem, right? So they would need to chase it up. They should have just offered you a refund there and then. If they can't fulfill a new order, just offer you a refund there and then.
Right.
And then they should be chasing it up with US Postal, right?
Right. So again, this was just one of those things where, again, I'm not mad at them. Again, if they physically delivered to the post office and the U.S. Postal Service lost it, well, that's cool. But when I first inquired on the 15th, that was literally the label says September 4th is when they were going to create the label. That was 11 days. And when the guy said, hey, I'm going to follow up on this, all you had to do was find out, hey, if you don't see it moved in a day or two, send it back and go, hey, man, we don't see that this thing has been updated. We dropped it off on the 4th, and it's been 12 days or 13 days. They clearly lost the goddamn thing. Fuck it. We'll just send out a new one. No big deal. Also, tell you what, we're not going to use U.S. Postal Service. We're going to go ahead and eat the $10, and we're going to overnight it, or would you like to use FedEx or UPS?
Yeah.
Would you like to overnight the case to you or whatever? I mean, that should have happened. Or just... I don't care if you overnight it, but just pick a different carrier. Just get a case in the mail, take it to another thing, and that's cool. But they didn't respond. They just
stole it.
Right. Well, who knows? I mean, I don't give a shit. It's whatever. It's just, again, it's another customer service, and I don't even want to talk about the problem I've had with AT&T. I'm not even going to go into it. So far, not extremely happy. This is the first case I've ever bought from Thinborn. And I realize that this probably isn't the way they normally handle customer service. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they're short-staffed. It's not a big deal. It's just a goddamn phone case. So it's not like I'm expecting like a defib, right? Or something on medical equipment. I clearly understand that this is just the way things are. And I'm not mad at them. I just don't think that their response time to their emails is very prompt. I think that anytime an email comes into a service center or a manufacturer, they should have a 24-hour or a 48-hour service level. Like they should respond to it and say, hey, especially if you tell me that on the 15th, hey, we'll look into it, we'll inquire, and I'll be back within 72 hours. If they would have said that and he would have emailed me back on like 2 days later, hey, appreciate you. The fact that guy did not email for 8 more days and I had to email back on the 23rd and go, are you following up on this fucking request or what the hell? And then again, it took another human being to step in, maybe a supervisor or a customer service lead. I don't know. Because I said basically, and my email was pretty shitty. I didn't read it, but I basically said, hey man, like it is unacceptable to not respond to a customer inquiry for a week. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
no, it's not good. And that's why I said, is this kind of how you guys get down? Because I mean, is it lost? Has it been fulfilled? You're not responding. It's whatever. And so this guy clearly is doing damage control, and that's fine.
Damage control. The damage has been done.
Right.
Yeah. That's funny.
So anyway, it's a little bit of a mess. Again, we'll get it sorted out. So I'm looking forward to this Thinborn case. I want to check it out. So we'll see. I can't talk to you about the actual quality of the case because I haven't received it yet. I can.
Well, everyone talks really highly of them. So let's hope it's good.
Yeah, it's all good. So let's get back to instead of customer service fuck ups. So yeah, Shane Craig, check him out. Good mate, good dude. Clear close to 70K subscribers, and it's because he's really good. And you should check him out, even if you're not in that foldable, flippable duo lifestyle. He does a really good job. What else? So what phone have you changed? What reports do you have on the 17? Did you do some more pictures? What do we got going on your side?
Oh, so 17 Pro Max. I got to do more testing for sure, but the telephoto for Apple fans, it's great. They have got a more respectable telephoto now.
You said telephoto for Apple fans? Okay.
Yeah. So I think the V5, which is a foldable device, not camera centric really, I think the telephoto is better on that than it is on the Pro Max. I need to test more, but that's my initial thoughts. It has got a bigger sensor though, and more megapixels, as one would say. So the hardware is actually better on the V5 than it is on the Pro Max anyway. So there you are. One thing I will say for the Pro Max though, that square sensor is pretty cool. I do like the fact that you can take a picture landscape and not have to turn your phone. That is a nice feature. And I think it's inevitable that all Android makers, the OEMs, will copy that for sure. I mean, it's a no-brainer. That is really good. I'll give them that. I still can't get on with iOS, mate. I can't. Like, it's silly little things, Like, on an Android device, you can clear all your notifications. All of them, just bang, gone. If you want to get rid, you can't bother to read them. You can't do that on an iPhone. Or at least I can't figure out. Like, it even comes up clear all, right? You press that and they don't all clear, just some of them clear.
Right. And also, I just have a problem with navigating back and forth between.
That's the next thing I was going to say.
Now, it's because I'm not used to it. Like, I realize if I knew how to move in and out of menus, what the fuck? What is this shit? Are you doing that?
What?
Look see that's right on your screen.
No,
Did I do something?
You must have done that. I don't know. I don't have no power.
I don't have no idea what I'm doing.
So navigating, right? How can you get used to it, Sam? When some apps you have to push an X at the top, some apps you can slide from the left-hand side, I think, and some apps you have to push an arrow or something. It's different in every app.
I just don't have an. I'm sure you could if you used it, and I'm sure people do. Navigate through it. I have to relearn how to navigate through iOS, and that's what happens when I switch over. Sometimes I can't, when I'm using my wife's phone, I can't figure out how do I go back? Do I do this? Is it a thing? Do I pull it from this side? I don't know.
That's the thing for me. Now, Steve's made a good point because I haven't actually tested all the Pro Raw stuff on that, and that is the stuff that looks excellent, and I do need to test out for sure.
Yeah. Dude, that whole selfie camera thing,
that is fantastic.
That's amazing. Me, like I like the fact that that's cool.
Upgrade for most people.
That's pretty slick.
Anyone who tries it's going to love it. Absolutely love it. But yeah, I'm an Android guy, so it's hard to switch for me. Very hard.
Well, I think we could. The problem is I would have to use iOS a lot more to get familiar with it. But I just think there's some things that I've really kind of come accustomed to using an Android device that I think for me, they're not deal breakers. I wouldn't call it to me. Like I said, again, we're talking about a person who, this is not an Android phone. It's my work phone. It's a 13 and I use it and I just struggle with it. I just don't like the interface. It just doesn't work for me.
I'll tell you one thing, Sam. The Pro Max speakers are fantastic.
Yeah, well, that's something I've always noticed about iPhones. Yeah. They've always sounded great.
The speakers are fantastic.
And then fan of the show, Delavan Digital, it talks about he's talking about like the video. iPhone video is class leading. Dude, it's not even close. It's not even close. I'm sorry. No. Pictures, sure. You can, like I know that some of the Chinese manufacturers and the Vivos and the Realmes and Xiaomi and and the Huawei and stuff and OnePlus and even Pixels, right? Samsung's doing a good job. But video-wise, I still think that Android has not closed that gap, like at all. I just think
there is something. I was talking about 17 and 17 Pro Max. There is something I want to segue into. I don't know if you've seen Xiaomi. They've skipped the numbering to 17 and they've named it 17 Pro Max. Yeah,
right. It's literally the same name, and they basically, they're full on basically copying Apple. It's full on copy now.
What's your thoughts?
You know what? Go for it. Go for it. Yeah. Here's the thing. It's not copyrighted, right? It's not a copyright infringement. They're in China. And, I say go for it. You can think what you want. And I don't think anybody from Xiaomi corporate, now they would admit it probably on the record, probably on camera. But I think it's a blatantly trying to align with what Apple does. Naming, phone design, the OS. It's clearly they're trying to leverage this as the Android copy of Apple for the Chinese market. And I think it's actually, I can't hate it. Like, as they're like, well, that's just like just blatant ripoff. I go, but if you don't live in China, if you can't afford an iPhone, but a Xiaomi is available and you get kind of all the feeling of iPhone, but not have to spend money.
I think one of the reasons they've done it, though,
might be a thing you should try.
At the moment there's stock constraints for iPhone, right? So that's in a way a smart move, right? Because people are going to be searching online for Pro Max, and they might catch a glimpse of a Xiaomi instead, and be like, "Oh, that's available." Not in the US, obviously.
Right.
in China and Europe.
It's clearly designed for to give people that if they can't afford it, but also it's not maybe not affording. Remember, the U.S. and China don't exactly have a great relationship right now, militarily, economically. Relations between China and the United States are pretty strained. I don't know if that's because of the current administration. I don't think the Biden administration really did a great job of making it warm and fuzzy either. However, be that as it may, there may be people who are not buying an iPhone. It's not because of a cost problem. It's because of the fact that it's an American company and they're just kind of like, you know what? We can kind of get the same kind of vibe and support a Chinese branded company. Make China great again, right? Right. There might be that kind of sentiment. It might not just be availability. They just maybe want to support a local Chinese company. And they do like iOS, and this kind of gives them the best of both worlds, right? They give the Xiaomi, and yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want to call it a blatant ripoff. I don't know if that's the fair way, but it's definitely it's a pretty good copy, and I don't have a problem with that. At the end of the day, it's not something
I like the screen.
I do
on the back,
and I did have the last Xiaomi I had was a Mi 11, and it had the eco leather back. That's the phone I had when I went to Puerto Rico and took some pictures. I love that Xiaomi. I kind of wish I kept it. I actually had that, and the only other one I had was the Mi Mix. I think it was the Mi Mix 3 that had the little the slider, had the screen that slid up. That was pretty slick. I actually kind of liked the Xiaomi.
I've never had a Xiaomi.
I thought it was pretty good. But yeah, you can definitely tell it was a little rough around the edges, but I had no problem with it. I thought the phones were great, actually.
Yeah, I need to try one, I think, soon.
I have no idea how I did this. This little thing here.
It's all right, it's cool.
Oh, I think I figured it out. Watch.
There you are, magic.
There's a button.
I'll second what Simon says there. Vivo's video is actually very, very good.
I've never used a Vivo, so I don't know. I know you have, and obviously
Vivo's
Simon
video is
has.
very, very good.
Okay.
I do second
Cool.
that. And this is interesting what Steve says. I know he's going to jump to that.
Yeah. Okay. The thing about iOS and back gestures is that back gestures do work in Apple apps, and those complying with Apple Solid. But there are, okay. Yeah,
the Google apps, and that gesture you're talking about. That's swipe from the left, though, right?
Right.
This is my problem.
Correct.
I'm a right-handed guy, and I swipe from the right. And now there is the argument I could get used to.
Right, because usually right-handed, I'm holding it, and it's like this, right? It's one of these jobs. Although I do this as well. I'll actually reach across with my thumb. I will do this. So I'm again. It's just I don't think it's anti. We're not trying to make it anti iOS. I'm just not used to using iOS's gestures and the interface. I'm not experienced in it. So it's just one of the things where if I was stuck with it for a month, I'm sure I could figure out how to get around it. But to me, it doesn't feel as intuitive as Android. And to be fair, that's probably because I've been using Android for so long. So that's probably a loaded statement. Yeah. I'm trying to be as fair as I can. I just don't use iOS that often. And when I do, I struggle with navigating through the OS. I just do. And it is what it is. But I still think the 17 Pro on the 17 series, I do like the redesign of the aluminum frame. I do like I'm okay with that camera bar. I think it looks okay. I think the colors, that orange color is pretty wild looking. I like it. I wish they would do product red. I really wish they would have that. I don't think they even do it as I like red. I think it's cool. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like, and we have just gotten to the point where, we go with what we're familiar with, and it's hard to switch. It's just hard to switch now, especially if you're Apple and you've got an iPad and an iMac and the ecosystem and your watch and everything works. I get it. Like, I totally understand that. And I'm not even suggesting to people to switch over, which is funny. And I use that as a segue to my daughter. So I have two daughters. I have, so Kaylin changed to the dark side of the force, according to my wife, about a year and a half ago. Kaylin had had an iPhone, and she goes, "Hey, I don't want to use an iPhone," and I gave her my Pixel 6. She loves Pixels. Kaylin's like all in, like Pixel is like her thing. So I be that as it may. So she's good, and she's using Pixel. Of course, my wife is not happy because now me and Kaylin were the Android users, and Anna and my wife were So Anna's my daughter, Caitlin's her daughter. We've kind of crisscrossed applesauce, right? So there's 2 people Android, there's 2 people iOS, right? So we're in that boat. So 2 days ago, Anna comes up and she goes, "Hey, Dad." And we were talking about, because she has a 13 Pro Max. It's getting a little old, right? Charge cycles are low. She's had it for a while. It's paid off. It's fine. And I said, "So, hey, are you looking to upgrade?" She goes, "Yeah, I'm looking at the 17. I'm like, "Okay, cool." And then we stopped talking about it. And then 2 days ago, she talks to me. She calls me. She goes, "Hey, I think I want to get a Flip 7. And I said, "Well, Apple doesn't make a Flip." And she goes, "Yeah, I know." And I go, "So are we talking about a Samsung Flip 7? She said, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay." I thought we had this conversation about 6 months ago where you were like all Apple because all your friends are Apple and iOS and you're not switching. And now, to be fair, Anna had my old OnePlus. Anna's had my HTC. Anna loves HTC and OnePlus. She loves those phones. Love those phones, right? So she's even used my Windows phone. She's even that. I was like, okay, well, we had to talk about that. I thought you were like all Apple, all your friends. It's weird. Ostracization, green bubbles, all that shit. And she goes, "Yeah, I that's all true." I said, "Okay, well, then what changed?" She goes, "You know what? TikTok. I've been watching all these videos on TikTok, and it's like people are switching to folds and flips." And I was like, "Yeah, I think that's just a TikTok thing. I don't think a lot of people are switching. I think it's a couple here and there. I just think it's a little bit more of an internet buzz. I don't think it's happening in mass like you think it is."
No.
And then she said, "Well, that's funny because my friend had a 13 or a 12, bought a fold."
Okay.
Fold, right? And her other friend has a Flip 6. And I said, "Wait, they went from iPhone to Samsung?" They go, "Yeah." I said, "Well, what'd they say?" They said, "You need to get this. Like, you need to switch." So, and I said, "Well, you're going to lose iMessage. You're going to lose FaceTime. You're going to lose all that shit." She goes, "Dad, I don't have a Windows PC. I don't have any other Apple shit. I don't care." But her friends have actually, it's her friends have switched. So a couple of people, so it's not just a video she's watching, like she's literally seeing people in her friend group that are actually going from iOS. And I said, "Why?" Is it because they said, "Dad, it's because iPhones are boring now. Like, they're just boring. It's the same goddamn phone every single year." Yeah, there's some differences.
I will say what they've done on iOS 26 is interesting. I don't hate it, actually.
Right.
But yeah, back to the story. I just wanted to throw that one in there.
Right. And I said that. And so I was like, "Well, what is it?" She goes, "But Dad," she goes, "I see that you can set your lock screens and you can do all this shit and that stuff. And I can't." I said, "Yeah, honey, you can do all that stuff." And she's like, "Yeah, I mean, I've got."
Oh, that's nice.
That's my trip. I went to South Carolina. That's me in the Atlantic Ocean. At sunset, I took a video
I can't see you there, mate.
Oh, because I'm holding the video. Yeah. So
I know the way you said it as if you were in the sea.
Right. So it's one of those things where it's like, and she's like, "That stuff's cool. Plus, it's nice that you can flip it and then I can use the outside screen." I just think it's cool. Like, it's something that's cool. I think that a lot of my friends really like it. And I was like, "Okay, well, I mean, whatever, man. Just realize if we do switch to a Samsung, you don't like Android." She goes, "But Dad,
Rockstar does open up a lot,
dude." I saw this, and so I want you to. Do you have your phone with you, real quick?
Yeah.
Send me a telegram. Just send me a telegram, just a test message. So I set this up because of Edge Lighting Plus. So let's see if this works. So let me know when you're about ready to hit. Let me know when you're about ready to hit send.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm just gonna write test. There you are.
Okay. Watch this. See that? Look at that shit. Look at that.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I want that myself, but yeah,
dude, it's cool.
It's cool that you can do that. Yeah.
But what's actually kind of cool is you can actually set. You can set it to actually if you have you have put a sticker. So if you send me a text message, your little head will come up, and I'll have little faces of Joe.
No one wants that.
No, everybody wants that. You should want that. But I guess my question
personalization is good. It is good. I mean, Apple's got better with that, I think, though, haven't they? Really?
Yeah, but it's not the same, dude. And I tell people every day and I actually started watching a video of a guy who does the Samsung stuff. I didn't even know about the edge lighting. I had that actually installed, part of Good Lock, and I didn't even know. I'm like, dude, I think it's kind of cool. So now when I get So you have a little thing in there that just basically says, instead of giving me a notification, give me these little thingies. I think it's kind of cool. Like I know people like us who are old and dads, and we're like, that's kind of you're old too. Look at you, you're starting to get.
Oh no, I know.
But your hair looks good. I just cut it off.
Not today. It doesn't. It's lazy Sunday day.
Well, didn't you? Or you were on holiday all week, right? You were off for work.
Yeah, I'm on holiday till the 3rd, actually.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Wow, that's all the way. So you get 2 weeks off? Is that
almost? Yeah.
Part of the company's thing, or is that a?
No, I would have took 2 full weeks, but I had a meeting planned for the 2nd, but that got cancelled, so I extended my holiday a little bit.
That's cool. So yeah,
why not?
Oh yeah, Symbian. I never used Symbian, so this is something that I have to lead on Steve about, because I never used Symbian.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Well, he mentioned So going forward in the screen logic stack.
Okay. All right, I get it.
I'm going to play with it a bit more.
It's just the way it's coded. But anyway, like I said, I just was curious. I know you've been so. Obviously, you can't see yourself switching to an iPhone. Can you make that? You basically decided after a couple weeks you cannot make that a daily driver. Is that pretty much how?
Yeah, no, I can't see myself switching. But I am going to have it for the full 90 days before I switch it up. I may even keep it longer. Who knows? I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to play with it. I'm going to be a tech geek and give it a go. But yeah, I can't see myself ever switching because I'm very much an Android guy. I'm very much liking Honor at the moment and what they're doing. But I'm also a motivator now, so yeah, I should be getting the Razer Ultra next, Sam. So I'm quite excited for that.
Oh yeah, now is that the same Razer Ultra that Mac had, or is it or different?
I don't know if it'll be the same actual device, but yeah, Razer Ultra Mac. Got because in the Moto program you send them back and then you get a different device sent to you. It's just in rotation. Okay. Yeah, so Ted's part of that as well.
Right. Yeah. I would like. Too bad I had inquired about having a motivator, but apparently the motivators aren't in the US.
It's not in the US yet, but I mean they've expanded it further in the UK. So you never know, mate. In the next few years, it might, because they're actually gaining quite good ground in the US, aren't they, as well?
Right. And the other thing too is I've used Motos, and and I did mention Anna. I said, they have the Razer. I actually think the Razer, I like the software more because I do like the fact it's a little bit more straightforward. I had a Razer. I actually had 2. And she said, no, Dad, I think it's because you know what it comes down to, and I think this is what it comes for, at least for my daughter. She's seen the Fold 7 and the Flip 7. She's seen those in commercials and people talked about it. Like if you look at those videos about switching from iOS, none of them are switching to a Razer. They're switching to a Samsung. They're switching to a Flip, right? And I think that's the problem. I think that's Moto's major problem is I just don't think they have enough exposure on these social medias. I think, to be honest with you, I think that the hardware on the Moto Razer is better. I think the software, I would say the software capability and features on the Samsung are a little bit more robust, but I liked using these. I mean, I had a Razer. I mean, you saw it. I used my Flippy Dippy. I fucking love that device. I loved my Razer. I like the color, and the new ones are nice with the way they feel in the back, the colorways. Yeah. I like Motorola. I would, and I had like the finishes. Not only did I have a Flippy Dippy, but I also had a Moto G stylus. Like I was all in. Hell, I got a goddamn Legion computer. It's a Lenovo. Well, who the fuck is the parent company of Lenovo? It's Motorola. It's Motorola, right? And it's all the same company.
Lenovo,
right? No, Lenovo, right? So I'm all in, but I just, when I asked her, I said, "Hey, would you be considering maybe like a Razer?" And I've used a Razer. Actually, it's funny thing. I've used a Razer more than I've used because the only other Flip I had, I think it was a Flip. I think I had the Flip 5. I think it was the 5. Can't remember. I actually like the Razer way better than I like the Flip.
Yeah,
I personally did.
I'm looking forward to testing it. Definitely. I've never had a Samsung Flip though, to be fair, so I can't compare. But I am really looking forward to testing.
Yeah, it. And what she said? She goes, she wants the peach or the coral. She said, "Dad, that color, that color's fire." I was like, "Yeah, it's actually pretty cool."
definitely.
Yeah, and this is again pushing me to my point of like these manufacturers stop with this gray and white. Nobody wants all these young kids. They want color. They want something that's unique. Coral, dude. The blue on, dude. I'm telling you, man. I know. Again, this blue is such a good color.
It looks so much nicer in person.
God, it's amazing, dude. I am so. Matter of fact, my buddy had the Fold 6, and actually he got folds because of me. I was at the party, the 70th birthday party for essentially my mother, one of my surrogate mothers, and I showed him my Fold 7, how thin it was compared to his Fold. He's like, "Holy shit!" He goes, "Dude." Yeah. That fold is amazing. Yeah. So he's upgrading from a 6 to a 7 completely based on actually getting hands on with mine and seeing it and going, dude, that's amazing.
Upgrade. It really is a huge upgrade.
I think so. And again, if you're in the United States, this is something you might consider. If you're in the UK, you've got a lot of other options. You got the Honor. You've got
if you're in the UK. The V5 is the one for me.
Dude, the V5, I would love to try that device out. I just don't know. I know it won't work on AT&T, but that V5 is cool. Like I even like that. I'm okay with the fact that the camera housing is, a little thick and stuff. Yeah. I just like the shape of it. I like the camera housing being
the camera housing being like,
because you told me you put your finger, you kind of use that as a resting point. And I do it with here. I just have one finger, obviously, but and this isn't bad. Dude, Samsung, don't do this. This Fold 7 bullshit where it says Fold. This is tacky. Don't do that. Just have a kick.
I don't think it looks too bad. It's definitely more classy looking.
No, that I like the Ring way better. I think I've used this little kickstand and it's just flimsy as shit. I'm like, I like the Ring. I think the Ring is a lot classier looking and I think it's more functional. But anyway, it's cool. So let's see. What does Steve say? Oh, actually, go back here. He got he's got the setup too with the little flitter.
Yeah, John Trimmer's got the Fold 7 as well.
Yeah, and he's got the little thing like that. It's annoying and cool. It's It's cool because I'm not. It's cool because it's different. But yeah, I'm also a 21-year-old, so it's a little annoying.
No,
I just think it's funny.
That thing you showed us with the notification. I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. I'm just saying it is annoying and cool. I just like the fact that you can actually have the capability of doing that. And that's what I like about it. With Sam. I think that's what Anno is kind of like. I think I'd probably go okay with the Razer, but I think because the Samsung offers so, and I tell people, I think Samsung should sit down, either their corporate person or somebody who's like a Samsung Knight or Samovator or whatever the hell you want to call it, or Sammy. That's me, right? Sits down and like talks about all the things you can do on like making stickers and assign to this. And there's so many features on Samsung phones. It's almost like it's overloaded. Like there's so much stuff you wouldn't even use.
Yeah, it can be a bit overwhelming, to be honest.
Yeah, and I like the Razer Ultra. I think that phone, as far as like hardware and software, dude, that thing's a beast. I love the Rotor. I'm almost considering getting a Razer just to have a flip to my Fold because I loved having a flippable.
It'd be interesting. You'd have to ask Anna to give us like an update a month in, 3 months in, 6 months in,
like how she's getting on. How she's getting on without the iPhone. I think she's gonna be happy about it. So who knows? I mean, if not, who cares? I mean, at the end of the day,
I'd like to hear about if there's anything she misses. So like a real balanced, like how the Switch is going.
Yeah, we'll actually have her on. She'll jump on real quick and talk about it. So
yeah, it'd be cool to. Yeah.
Let's see. What it took me a couple months to get really used to iOS back in the day. Joe healing it. It's. But things do ultimately work better. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So I'm curious.
I mean, Steve wouldn't have switched unless he thought that way in the end.
Well, I know, and Steve, and I think he obviously gives. I think he lives a little bit. He seems to lean a little bit more to iOS, but he's always been fair about other phones, and he's had way more exposure. Symbian and Palm, all that, and then Windows Phone and everything else. I do think that I do appreciate the fact that I think Steve is trying to be as fair as honest, and
he still does. If you watch his shorts, he's still doing stuff.
And that's how he feels, and I okay, I'm curious. I don't know if it ultimately works better for me, but for Steve, it clearly works better. So I can
a lot of people it does, but
right, and I can be obviously I'm not going to be stuck in the bog. I can be persuaded. I just like I said, I still use it for day to day on my iPhone, on my work phone. However, I don't really use it the same way because I don't do anything socially with my work phone. It's clearly for work. Just because, and it was funny because they're like, "Oh yeah, you can do all sorts of. You put your Snapchat on." I'm like, "Yeah, you can fuck off. There's no way I'm doing any of that shit."
Phone.
Hell no, dude, and not where I work. No, dude, I'm good, dude. I appreciate that. That's a nice thought, but hell no. And so yeah,
not a good idea.
Yeah, I can get you. Razer Ultra. Hey, Michael, is a piece of advice. But I need one to. Oh, the updates. Yeah.
They do need to step up the updates.
I do. I agree, but I don't think it's as. I never had. Now this is me. I never had a problem with any updates. When it came to security patches, it was bi-monthly. It was fine. It was more you still have a phone. It's still Android 15. Yeah, that kind of sucks. And Motorola has. I think Motorola, if you talk to people like Wilkin or anybody else, I think they'll kind of admit that they realize that the Achilles heel is their update and their OS cadence and their update schedule. That's always been the kind of Achilles heel of Moto, and they kind of acknowledge. I think they acknowledge it, and I think they're getting better. I think that just takes time.
It's like to techie people like us, we talk about updates, but to your general public, there's less people that actually care and even think about updates. Like I see people all the time, and I update their phone for them because they haven't done it. Like I see customers all the time, so I think Motorola's thought process it's not that important. I don't know. I could be wrong because it is important when you pay that much money for a Razer Ultra, obviously.
Right. He said audio's going insane, or is it just me? So is it coming out? Is it dropping out? Because I notice I'm having some internet, like it's kind of goes up and down. I try to hardline into my other router. So I don't know if it's just you, Jermaine. So if anybody else sees that it's...
Is it audio for both of us, or?
He just says audio is going insane. So I don't know what that... I mean, I would assume for both, maybe just me because I'm hosting it. I don't know. Yeah, it is nice to see lagging, clipping, and so on.
Oh dear.
Or just a lot of that. No.
It's not good for a podcast, but we will still continue.
Yeah, we plug it through. Like I said, I've been trying. It's funny is because I do the hard line because it says you should, and I actually switched. I'm not doing it from the router that's in the front of the house. That's for the kids' access point. I'm doing it to an AT&T one that I'm trying, and so this is the first day that I'm hardlining to the AT&T router. So I didn't bounce it. So both of us.
Oh,
really?
Dear.
Well, I'm hosting it, so Andrew's probably me. Sorry.
Wasn't me.
That's just me being stupid. Sorry. So anyway, yeah, I've been trying to fight that a little bit. So we'll see. I was trying to switch to a hardline different switch in my house, and this may not work. I may try the other one, and I've always, the problem with me is where I live, internet access and internet stability is really always a challenge. As a matter of fact, I actually have right now. I have 3 gateways. I have 2 T-Mobile 5G gateways and an AT&T one I'm trying out. It seems to be okay now. Yeah, it seems like it kind of vacillates, Andrew. So I'm working on it. Hey, Luis, man, how you doing, sir? I know you're super late. That's okay, man. We're just glad you dropped on in. We really appreciate it. Luis is good. He's a good dude. Good dude. I haven't been able to follow up with everybody. I don't know if he's still like crushing content. Luis is a good dude. We've always been on actually chats and stuff, and he's a good guy. I like Luis a lot. I really appreciate his. Yeah, appreciate his. I do. I live in a rural area. It's rural. It's not like farmland. I don't live in middle Missouri where I have to have aluminum foil antlers and stuff and stand on. It's not that bad. And yeah, StreamYard is. Yeah, and I've actually had pretty good experience with StreamYard. We thought about Restream. We may still do that at some point. It's okay for me. Yeah, it's me. It's not you, it's me, right? That's what it was. It feels like a bad relationship, right? Honey, I love you. You're great. It's not you, it's me. Like I feel like that's what we're having right now. We're having like a existential crisis in our relationship. That's kind of what it feels like. See, look, right? So Jimmy doesn't give me a bunch of shit, right? I'm hydrating. It's not just booze. It's water.
That's vodka.
That's just it's vinegar. It's vinegar, you pussy. Right now, it's straight vinegar.
Vinegar. That's what they do in rural areas.
Right. That's what we do out in the woods, right? We just drink vinegar straight up. Yeah, it's good.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's vodka, and it's good stuff. It's goose. Like actually, Stoli's pretty good. I do like Stoli. Anyway, so sorry about the internet problems, folks. I'm trying to sort through it. So anyway, yeah, we'll see. I'll maybe when we upgrade Anna's phone and she has it for a couple of weeks, and we'll see how she goes. She seems to be all good. She's all in, man. So really, the only person in our household at that point would be Becky, and she's not coming off iOS ever. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Say it again. Say ever. She said she's up here right now. She said, "Yeah, you can fuck off with all that horse shit." She is all iOS all the time. God love her.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, well, you can't save them all, Jermaine. You can't save them all. But she's actually a pretty nice person. She's pretty awesome. She's a saint. So the fact that she uses iOS, yeah, well,
she must be a saint, Sam.
She's married to me. I mean, seriously. I mean, God, can you imagine that? Let's not imagine that. There's a bunch of men in here. Let's not do that. Anyway, so at the end of the day, yeah. So yeah. So anyway, so like I said, we'll see how it goes. And yeah, we should have Anna on and see how she says. But yeah, she basically said that some of her friends have switched and that she's been watching a lot of YouTube videos and TikToks, and people are. So that seems to be, I mean, iOS, I don't think it's really moving the needle crazy. Like I don't think a bunch of people are just switching to Samsung from iOS. However, I think Apple needs to get into the flip life. I'll tell you right now, if they, like I said before, and I'll say it again, if they can make a flip, an iFlip or iPhone flip or flip, whatever.
They're going to, I'm sure.
And when they do that, I think they're going to sell a bunch of them. I think people will finally, at least they'll think that Apple is trying to innovate and try to move that needle. Now that they know that flippables and foldable phones exist, I think this is the time. So maybe next year,
you
maybe
think Air anyway is like a move towards the flip? That's finished.
Yeah, I think they're trying to innovate hardware wise, and I don't hate
they put into a thinner device.
Right. I don't hate the Air. Again, not everybody needs kick-ass cameras, and not everybody needs battery that crushes for days. A lot of people I've seen that have had the Air have done okay with battery, and they're okay with the camera being not top tier. Not everybody needs a great camera. And they still get I think they still get on the Air. They still get the selfie thing, right?
To be fair, the
framing thing,
main camera is not bad on iPhones, and that's got the main camera, isn't it? But I wouldn't want to pay that money.
Again, the price sucks. Again, if that phone's $599, they probably sell a shit ton of it.
Yeah,
it's the price. It's not priced well, but no iPhones always are priced well. They're always kind of priced a little bit more aggressively. So anyway,
Apple tax, isn't
that's where we are.
That one.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes. And at the end of the day, I apologize for any of the stuttering. That's definitely on me, and that kind of thing. So Center Stage is pretty good. Check it out. We'll see. And then, but it's not going to make Joe switch to an iPhone anytime soon. But it is pretty cool. Center Stage is nice. Let's see how long it takes. Let's see how long it takes Samsung and Google to come up with something that looks Center Stage like, and we'll see.
Which they will copy it. I'm pretty certain of that.
For sure.
Why they wouldn't? Yeah.
Yep. So that's it. So I will tell you that right now I'm probably not going to be able to do a show. It depends on when I get back. I'm taking the caravan out for that first shakeout. So probably not. I will not rule it out, but maybe this will be the only show we might miss a week. That's and if we do, go check out the Tech Disruptors. There's other podcasts you can listen to. Check that out. I will let you know probably end of the week. I'll let you know how it's going to shake out. But probably I'm going to be off next week, shaking out the caravan and getting back and getting it all set up. And because I don't have a lot of experience parking it and traveling it with it and using it. So that's going to be interesting. See how that works. Anyway, so it'll be good.
Show chat tomorrow. So
yeah, phone show chat tomorrow. Check that out. They're still in the Fortnite schedule, but realize that they may do as needed weekly shows, just kind of like get them in there. So just check that out. Remember, if you are following the old phone show chat on your old RSS feed, you need to switch to the one for Ted and Joe, not the Ted and Steve Litchfield one. Remember that changed a little bit. So make sure that you check that out. And if you haven't downloaded it and put that in your podcast aggregator, please do us a favor. Do that now. Additionally, if you are in the mood and you're feeling like you want to basically go get a different color on your phone, you're not feeling that color, go check out extremeskins.co.uk. Check them out. Buy one, get one free all the time.
The dogs just love to get onto the podcast. So skin your shit, as we say. Extremeskins.co.uk. They don't just do phones though; they do PlayStations, headphones, all sorts.
Yeah, check them out. And again, if you're in Europe, that's cool. If you're in the UK, great. If you're in the United States, there may be an issue with the Royal Mail. It took me a little while to get it, but remember, that's not like just like the Thinborn thing. I don't think that was on the company. I think that was on the carrier. So remember, if you're in the United States and you're going for if you're going for, then they could have communicated better, but whatever. But remember, if you're in the United States and you're ordering an Extreme Skins case and it's a little delayed or it may take a while, that's not necessarily the folks over at Extreme Skins. It's just Royal Mail and the shipping. Ever since the pandemic, shipping across the continents like that has just gotten out of control. So just be patient with them. But remember, I get them all, and we might reach out to them. We need to get some skins for my Fold 7. And I might just do an order. So check them out. They'll take care of you. They will always great customer service. They respond great. Willing to help you out. If you're in Europe or if you're in Asia, they're really fantastic. And check them out and let them know we sent you. Again, we don't get actual sponsorship from them. We just like their stuff, and I like using their stuff, and I will keep using them. And so that's it. So remember, skin your shit, and we will end the show, and we'll end it here. Joe, enjoy your all your honors. I think you're going to be good. You're supposed to be getting maybe a moto here pretty soon, hopefully. From the motivators,
fingers crossed.
Right, and we'll talk about that. I'm curious to see because I only had the older Razor. I didn't have the Ultra, so I'm curious to see how you think about that. And it'll be a good time. Again, probably not a show next week. It'll be kind of a game time decision. Also, Arsenal won today. Woohoo! Late goals.
Yes.
Good job, Gunners. There you go. Today is the last day of the St. Louis Cardinals season, which has been a fucking disaster. I'm glad that we're done with this shit. And 3 years of not making the playoffs. I'm actually glad the season's over because it's a disaster. And I'm ready for Blues hockey. Cardinals just had a bad year. I don't want to talk about it. It makes me upset. So let's just skip that. Again, let's go Blues. Maybe the Cardinals will figure out making 2026. I doubt it. But baseball for me is over. I don't know. I'll watch the playoffs because I do like a lot of teams in the playoffs. I'm still a baseball fan, but the Cardinals suck. So we'll go with that. So go Gunners. Way to pull off a good win today. Good victory. Last minute. And so that makes Joe happy. Me, not so great. Although the Bears played pretty good last week. They should look at a real fucking football team. It was pretty amazing. Actually, I thought it was a pretty great fucking game. I was excited.
I won't get into it. Not only did Arsenal win, there were some other results that went our way. Which was nice to see. Very, very nice.
So we'll hopefully they can make it up there. And then, like I said, we'll see. They don't have
sitting pretty in second.
Yeah, they don't have playoffs, which is weird, but whatever.
No, it's not weird.
It's weird. It's weird. As Americans, weird. Anyway, so sports-wise, we're good. Phone-wise, we're good. I'll let you guys know about end of the week, but probably not a show next week. But if not, we'll see about coming on the week after that, and we'll have a good time. We'll talk some more stuff. And we'll go from there. And thank you so much for everybody for jumping on. I know Jermaine and Luis and Steve Litchfield. I know he's went back to bed. Andrew, thank you guys. And Simon, thank you guys. And Jimmy, thanks for coming on and showing your support and answering questions and making things in the chat. We always love that. We appreciate you. And we will be back on the next episode of the Nomad Ted Project with Sam and Joe, probably another week or so. So I'll let you know. And we love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy your tech. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick.
Nope.
And we'll see you hopefully next Sunday or the Sunday after that. Take care. We love your faces. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.